Part 133. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1321. Chapter 1321. Mo Yesi is the most handsome. So compared with Nana, she is quite calm. Chin Han is the male lead, of course he will come to the set. What? Nana opened her eyes wide. Chin Han is the male lead. Oh my god, Nana exclaimed once again. Director Bai is so amazing, he actually found Chin Han to play the male lead. How on earth did he convince Chin Han? The reason why Nana sighed like this was not because Chin Han was so famous. But everyone in the industry knows that Chin Han generally does not accept TV series. Chin Han acted in several TV series in his early years. But the focus of his work later on was mainly in the film industry. His strength and good looks were there, and he was lucky. He met several good scripts and several good directors. After winning the Best Actor award for one of his films, he focused on the film industry. In recent years, not a single TV series has been filmed. No matter how high the offer was, he was not moved. After all, there is no shortage of money now. So it is very impressive that Bai Yasheng was able to persuade Chin Han to act in a TV series. Xiao Mian also wanted to know how Bai Yasheng persuaded Chin Han. Mian, why don't we go over and say hello? Nana must be Chin Han's true fan. She saw Chin Han's whole body trembling with excitement. Last time she saw Tuyuli, she was not so excited. Xiao Mian was also thinking about whether to take the initiative to say hello. Chin Han is a senior. It seems not good for her to see people but not say hello. While Xiao Mian was hesitating, Chin Han seemed to be aware of it and suddenly turned his head to look at her. Xiao Mian met his eyes, was stunned for a moment, smiled at him from a few meters away, and called out, "Hello, senior." Chin Han also returned the gift immediately. He also smiled at Xiao Mian and nodded. Before Xiao Mian said anything, Nana, who was standing next to her, covered her mouth with starry eyes and whispered, "Chin Han looks so handsome when he smiles. Oh my god, he just smiled, and I felt like my heart almost stopped beating. Suddenly I felt like I was in love. I've even thought about what our future children will be called." Xiao Mian. She was thankful that Nana spoke so quietly that Chin Han must not have heard her. Xiao Mian is also a fan of Chin Han, but she is a fan of Chin Han's acting skills, and she doesn't have much feelings for Chin Han himself. It is undeniable that Chin Han is indeed handsome, and he has a very masculine sense of handsomeness, a type between a young man and an early uncle. He can be very wolfish or manly, and he is very malleable. But in Xiao Mian's heart, of course Mo Yesi is the most handsome. Aside from the wife filter, she also felt that Chin Han was still not as good as Mo Yesi. Mo Yesi's face, I guess there are not many male artists in the entertainment industry who can compare with him. His temperament is not as good as his, and none has a better temperament than him. So, when Chin Han looked at Xiao Mian, a man beside him also looked at Xiao Mian. The man's eyes fell on Xiao Mian, stayed for a few seconds, then frowned and pulled Chin Han's arm, and then whispered something to him. During this period, Chin Han glanced at Xiao Mian and quickly looked away. Then the group left. Asterisk. As soon as Xiao Mian entered the crew, the actors she had worked with before came up to say hello to her, and the crew members who passed by also took the initiative to say hello to her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1322. Chapter 1322. They became real brothers and sisters. Everyone knew about the fact that Xiao Mian had a boyfriend on Weibo. Although no one knows Mo Yesi's true identity yet, the wave of attention and forwarding from Shaoqing and Gong Zili can already explain the problem. Those who can hang out with Miyazawa and the others and have a good relationship, How different their status can be. Today's crew, a group of actresses and female employees, were a little excited. Because of Chin Han's arrival, it caused quite a stir. Chin Han and Tu Yuli are different. Tu Yuli is a young artist, and most of his fans are very young. Naturally, there are very few female artists in the same industry who are fans of him. But Chin Han is suitable for both young and old. Not only are there a lot of fans outside the circle, but there are also a lot of female fans inside the circle. Xiao Mian saw that several actresses on the crew were just like Nana, and Chin Han's faces turned red with excitement, just like a young fan meeting her idol. Compare. In the entire crew, only Xiao Mian seemed calmer. After the actress said hello to her, they all gathered around Chin Han. Even Nana looked ready to move and wanted to move in that direction. I asked you women to be more reserved. I finally managed to get Chin Han to join the crew. If you scare him away like this, who will compensate me? A mocking voice sounded. The actresses who were close to Chin Han saw the man approaching, and they all calmed down their nymphomaniac expressions. Director Bai. Hello, Director Bai. It was Bai Yusheng who came over. Chin Han walked out of the crowd of women and saw Bai Yusheng. He smiled slightly and said, Director Bai, I didn't expect the actresses on your crew to be so enthusiastic. Bai Yusheng raised her lips. They are not usually so enthusiastic, and only you have this kind of treatment. The handsome guy Chin is different, he is very charming. Bai Yusheng turned his eyes and saw Xiao Mian standing behind him. He walked directly towards Xiao Mian. Mian, when did you come? Have you had breakfast? Bai Yusheng looked at the girl standing behind him, and his mood was a bit indescribable. He had liked Xiao Mian before, and at that time he was thinking how great it would be if she were his sister. Now, what he expected turned out to be true. The results of the paternity test have come out. There is no doubt that Xiao Mian is a descendant of the Bai family. They became real brothers and sisters. Although Xiao Mian has not yet agreed to return to the Bai family, blood relatives have become a fact, and this cannot be changed. Whether she agrees to return to the Bai family or not, she is still his sister. Bai Yusheng has always wanted a younger sister. Now not only has his wish come true, but his biological sister who has been looking for more than 10 years has been found. Now that he sees Xiao Mian, he just wants to be good to her. His sister was originally supposed to be a little princess who was pampered and grew up. In the more than 10 years since they were separated, her life was not bad, but it was definitely not good either. Thinking of the lives that other famous ladies lived from childhood to adulthood, and then thinking of Xiao Mian, Bai Yusheng felt a little distressed. She can't change the past. All he can do is to treat Xiao Mian better and better from now on. Try his best to be kind to the sister and make up for past regrets. Bai Yusheng was in a complicated mood, and Xiao Mian was in an equally complicated mood. She used to call Big Brother Bai, very smoothly. But now, her brother was standing in front of her, and for a moment, she didn't know what to call him. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1323. Chapter 1323. I hope you can take her well. It seems a bit inappropriate to continue calling me Brother Bai. But if you call me brother now. Seeing her silence, Bai Yusheng basically guessed what she was thinking. He took the initiative to resolve the embarrassment and said, if you haven't had breakfast, the crew will prepare it. I will ask someone to take you to eat it. Did you not have a good rest last night? If you are not in good condition, you can start work later and you can rest for a while. As soon as Bai Yusheng said these words, the faces of the people around him showed some surprise. When he looked at Jiao Mian again, his eyes were a little different. I've never heard of any actor that Bai Yisheng has been so accommodating to. In order to allow the actors to have a good rest, even the boot time can be changed. I'm afraid even Qin Han wouldn't receive such treatment. This Jiao Mian. Some people said before that she and Bai Yisheng were related, Bai Yisheng's cousin or something like that, but even a cousin couldn't be so accommodating. Almost like a biological sister. Even Qin Han had a hint of surprise in his eyes and turned his head to look at Jiao Mian. No need, I had a good rest last night and had breakfast. Director Bai, will the cameras start up in a while? I'm going to review the script. Others don't know why Bai Yisheng treats her like this. Well, Jiao Mian naturally knows. Feeling the strange looks around her, she nodded to Bai Yisheng, then turned and walked aside. Qin Han followed Bai Yisheng's gaze and glanced in the direction where Jiao Mian left, then looked back. After looking at Bai Yisheng thoughtfully, he said, "Before I entered the set, I heard someone say that Jiao Mian was leaving. Mrs. Director Bai's cousin? Director Bai really loves your cousin. Qin Han doesn't like Guangxi households." After knowing that Jiao Mian was a relative, no one wanted to film this TV series. But he owed Bai Yisheng a favor. In addition, he also knew the quality of the drama directed by Bai Yisheng, so when Bai Yisheng opened his mouth, he had no reason to refuse. But even though he came, he was still dissatisfied with Jiao Mian, a close relative. When Qin Han was not so popular before, he encountered a lot of related people. Those connections are all absolute losers, the kind who have no acting skills at all. They rely on eye drops for all the crying scenes, and the expressions on their faces don't change much from beginning to end. No matter how dissatisfied Qin Han is, he can only accept his fame. But in those few years, he was tortured quite a lot. So now he keeps away from all his relatives. After seeing Jiao Mian's appearance, he was almost certain that Jiao Mian was another kind of vase with no acting skills at all. If it weren't for repaying the favor, he would have turned around and left the crew by now. Bai Yisheng also withdrew his gaze. He glanced at Qin Han, raised his lips, and asked directly, "Why, are you worried that I will use my personal power to arrange a vase for you to act as your opponent?" Qin Han was stunned. He didn't expect Bai Yisheng to speak so directly. He was a little embarrassed and said, "How come? I have nothing to worry about with the person you arranged. Just be at ease." Bai Yisheng reached out and patted him on the shoulder. When he talked about Jiao Mian, he said with a little pride in his eyes, Mian is definitely not the kind of vase you think. Her acting skills are not as good as those of old. The actors are skilled, but for a newcomer, they are already very good. Qin Han, you are a senior and a professional in acting. I hope you can take her well. If there is anything she doesn't understand, you can teach her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1324. Chapter 1324, My sister is nothing more than that. Mian is very smart and can learn it as soon as he is taught. He will definitely not be a stupid student who gives you a headache. Qin Han looked at him a little surprised. Bai Yisheng really cares about his cousin. Bai Yisheng rarely asked him for help, but for his cousin, she went out of her way to say these words to him. My biological sister is nothing more than that. Even though Qin Han was disgusted with Jiao Mian's relationship in his heart, he didn't show it on his face. He nodded and said, "Okay, I will." Asterisk. Jiao Mian reviewed the script, and not long after, she saw someone coming over to ask her to put on makeup and change clothes. She now has a dedicated dressing room and a dedicated makeup artist. Jiao Mian is already very familiar with the previous scenes. She has read the script several times and has acted with Tu Yuli several times before, so the first scene went very smoothly. All shots are basically one-shots. In terms of acting skills, Chin Han's acting skills are better than those of Tu Yuli. This can also be seen in his control over the plot and performance. He was able to win 3 Best Actor awards at such a young age. His acting skills are really impressive. It is indeed quite powerful. Xiao Mian is very intelligent. If there is a strong person to guide her, she can perform at a better level. When she acted opposite Tu Yuli, Bai Yusheng already felt that she performed quite well. But when paired with Chin Han, she performed even better than she did then. Chin Han is very good at bringing in new people. It's just that he doesn't like to carry it, and he has no obligation to do so. But because of what Bai Yusheng said beforehand, he took Xiao Mian with him. At first, Qin Han was a little reluctant, but soon he discovered that Xiao Mian was completely different from what he had imagined. Not only is he not a vase at all, but he is also a very spiritual and enlightened new person. As Bai Yusheng said, her acting skills are not as skilled as those of the old actors, and she can still see traces of youthfulness, but the spirituality in her body is something Chin Han has not seen for many years. Being able to act and being spiritual in acting are 2 different things. In the former case, if many people are willing to study hard, they will have a chance to learn well. The latter is innate. If it didn't happen in the beginning, it won't happen in the future. It is not something that can be achieved through hard work. In other words, a spiritual actor is born to be an actor. After a few scenes, Chin Han has completely changed his initial prejudice against Xiao Mian from disgust and disdain at the beginning to wonder and appreciation. He has acted opposite so many actresses. Even Song Yike, who is unanimously rated as the best acting actor in Xiaohuali by the industry, does not have the spirituality of Xiao Mian. Xiao Mian is still a newcomer, and she has already performed so well. It is easy to imagine how bright her future will be. She has a white jade sheng, she can act, and she is very good looking. If she is not popular, it would be unforgivable. Okay, stuck. Very good, this shot shows it very well, it is the feeling I want. Another scene ended. Bai Yusheng looked at the playback plot in the camera, with a satisfied smile on his eyebrows and eyes. He stood up and walked towards the 2 people in the center of the theater. This morning's scene was shot here. Chin Han, thank you for your hard work. You led me and very well. Today's shooting was much better than I expected. I am very satisfied. The results of today's shooting were much better than Bai Yusheng expected. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1325. Chapter 1325. You slowly adjust your mentality. It goes without saying that Chin Han's strength has always been there. Mainly Xiao Mian's performance surprised Bai Yusheng. Don't say that Xiao Mian was still his sister, even if she wasn't, he would still praise her. Director Bai, you're welcome. Chin Han only now looked at Xiao Mian in the eyes, and the smile on his face seemed much more sincere. It's not that I acted well, it's that Miss Xiao did a good job. I didn't expect that this collaboration was so pleasant. Ms. Xiao, I hope our future cooperation will get better and better. You performed very well and gave me a lot of surprises. If you perform well, you will definitely have a bright future in the future. Xiao Mian can also feel that Chin Han's attitude is not as indifferent as it was at the beginning. She was very happy to be recognized and praised by her idol, and quickly replied, "Thank you, senior, for giving me so many pointers. I learned a lot by acting with you. I also look forward to our next cooperation." "Thank you, senior. Please give me some advice." "It's not about giving advice, but if you have anything you don't understand, you can ask me and I will tell you everything I know." Director Bai, I'll leave first. See you in the afternoon. Chin Han left after finishing speaking. Bai Yusheng asked his assistant to inform other staff members to take a lunch break. After the assistant left, he looked at Xiao Mian and said, "Mian, you performed very well today, even better than I imagined. Seeing your progress, I really happy for you. Xiao Mian pursed her lips, thank you, brother Bai, for giving me this opportunity. Qin Han acted very well, and I was also inspired by him. Bai Yusheng had selfish motives in asking Qin Han to star in this TV series. His selfish motive is to flatter Xiao Mian. As a newcomer, Xiao Mian can act opposite a movie star of Qin Han's level, and she is not inferior to him at all. When the TV series is aired, she will easily become popular. Now it seems that he found Qin Han in the right place. You have to fight for the opportunity yourself. If you don't perform well, you won't get the role you have now. No matter what, I still want to thank you. Mian, do you still need to be so polite to me? Bai Yusheng was silent for a moment and said, we are a family, you and I don't need to be so polite. I know you can't accept the sudden addition of family members for a while, there is no need to bear any psychological burden. If you feel uncomfortable, we can still get along as before. I'm sorry, brother Bai, Xiao Mian bit her lip and hesitated for a moment, then slowly said, I'm trying to accept this, please give me a little more time, okay. Okay. Bai Yusheng stretched out his hand to touch her head and said warmly, don't worry, you can adjust your mentality slowly. Mian, for our Bai family, it is already a great surprise and comfort to find you. Others, we can take our time. Bai Yusheng's attitude made Xiao Mian feel relaxed. The pressure in my heart is not that great anymore. She likes the Bai family quite a lot. She just needs some time to accept the Bai family as her family. Let's have dinner together at noon. Bai Yusheng looked at the time, we can discuss some plots in the afternoon. Just as Xiao Mian was about to call him back, she heard the cell phone in Bai Yusheng's pocket ring. He took it out, saw the caller ID, raised his head and glanced at Xiao Mian, then reached out and picked it up. Well, Mom, I just finished work and am going to have lunch. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1326. Chapter 1326. She ran over without telling me. What, you're here? It's such a hot day. If you don't stay at home, well, why are you here? Where are you now? Okay, I understand. I'll go find you right away. Okay, I got it, I'll take her with me. After a moment, Bai Yusheng hung up the phone. His face was full of helplessness. Mian, Mom is here. Auntie is here. Xiao Mian was surprised. Well, she said she didn't trust you and had to come and see for herself. She will be on the set soon. Speaking of this, Bai Yusheng had a headache. She told me about this matter yesterday and said she is worried about you being alone here and has no one to take care of you, so she wants to come with me to take care of you. I really didn't expect that after rejecting her yesterday, she came here without telling me today. Mian, I know there are some things that you still can't accept. But my mother has been looking for you all these years. Every time she talks about you, she blames herself and says that if she finds you one day, she will definitely make it up to you, so I hope you can understand. Check out her behavior. She couldn't control it herself. She loved you so much and felt sorry for you and wanted to make it up to you, so. Brother Bai, I can understand. Xiao Mian thought for a moment and said, then I will go with you to see your aunt. Mrs. Bai flew from Yunchinj to F City to see her. No matter what, she wanted to see him. What's more, she doesn't reject Mrs. Bai herself, she just doesn't know how to face Mrs. Bai for a while. Asterisk. Bai Yusheng has a dedicated lounge. After Mrs. Bai arrived at the set, she was taken to the lounge. Bai Yusheng took Xiao Mian over. They just opened the door and walked in. When Mrs. Bai saw Xiao Mian, she immediately got up from the sofa. Mian, it hadn't been long since we last met, but Mrs. Bai acted as if she hadn't seen each other for a long time. She stepped forward and grabbed Xiao Mian's hand excitedly, looking at her with tears in her eyes. "Mom, what are you doing?" Bai Yisheng saw the tears in Mrs. Bai's eyes and wondered, "Didn't I bring Mian here? Why are you still crying?" "I just want to cry." Mrs. Bai glared at Bai Yisheng, then coquettishly whimpered like a little girl, "I had a dream last night that Mian was snatched away and hidden. I looked everywhere but couldn't find anyone. That dream was so real. I was so afraid that Mian would really be snatched away. We finally got Mian back. If she is hidden again, where can we find her?" Bai Yisheng. "I care too much about it, so I worry about gains and losses." He walked over in a funny way, stretched out his hand and gently pressed Mrs. Bai's shoulder. "Mom, you were dreaming, and dreams are the opposite. So Mian can't be snatched away. Besides, who dares to someone from our Bai family?" Mrs. Bai was still in tears and kept staring at Xiao Mian. "I don't care, anyway, I want to stay with Mian and take care of her. She is filming here alone, and no one takes care of her food and daily life. How can I rest assured?" Bai Yisheng. "Mom, you don't want to stay here for a long time, do you? Don't make fun of me." "Who are you kidding?" Mrs. Bai glared at Bai Yisheng again and held Xiao Mian's hand tightly. Mian is already so thin. Life on the set is so hard. I have to make up for her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1327. Chapter 1327. Even he doesn't get this kind of treatment. By the way, Mian, wait a moment. Mrs. Bai seemed to suddenly think of something, let go of her hand, turned around and walked to the coffee table, and took out a thermos bucket from a bag. While twisting the lid, she said, "I made soup for you this morning. This soup is very nutritious. I know that you actors need to stay in shape and not eat anything too greasy. I used something to absorb all the oil and water in it. This soup is not oily at all. You can drink some now while it's hot." The lid is open, and the soup inside is still steaming. A tempting aroma emerged. Mrs. Bai scooped up a bowl of soup and brought it to Xiao Mian. As if she was afraid it would burn her, she blew on it before handing it to her. Bai Yisheng. Even he didn't get this kind of treatment. Fortunately, this is his sister, so he is not jealous. After all, he really wanted to hold this sister in his hands and dote on her. Xiao Mian didn't know how to respond to Mrs. Bai's series of actions. She hurriedly reached out and took the bowl of soup. "Put it on the table and drink. Don't burn your hands." Mrs. Bai never took her eyes away from Xiao Mian. The daughter she had been looking for more than 10 years was finally found. Now she felt that she couldn't get enough of it. Her Xiaoqi is so beautiful. When she was a child, she was as beautiful as a doll. When she grew up, she became an extremely beautiful little fairy. That boy from the Mo family was really quick in his actions. Xiaoqi was married and brought home by him when he was not yet 20 years old. Although the Mo family's family background is absolutely the same as that of the Bai family, the two boys from the Mo family are also outstanding. No matter which son is from the Mo family, they are a perfect match for Xiaoqi. Even if Xiaoqi married early, he did not marry the wrong person. However, she just couldn't bear to let her baby become a woman so early. According to her wish, it is okay to stay for another 5 or 6 years. She doesn't want her baby to get married so early. Even though she was marrying a boy from the Mo family, she was still a little dissatisfied. Fortunately, Yu Sheng said that the boy from the Mo family was very kind to Xiaoqi and doted on Xiaoqi very much. Otherwise, she would have been even more heartbroken. Chiao Mian couldn't help but feel a little moved when she took Mrs. Bai's hand and cooked the bowl of soup for her. Mrs. Bai made soup, put it in a thermos bucket, and brought it to F City from Yunchinj. I have to say that Mrs. Bai really loves her daughter. Since the death of Chiao's mother, Chiao Mian has never felt the warmth from her family. Father Chiao was pretty good to her, but because Lin Huijin and Chiaoan were around, it was inevitable that she would be partial sometimes. It is impossible to hold a bowl of water level. But she could feel that Mrs. Bai really loved her, and this love was the same as Chiao's mother felt for her at that time. Thinking of her deceased mother, Chiao Mian's eyes turned a little red. She is not hard-hearted. She can feel it when others treat her well. Auntie, thank you. Chiao Mian pursed her lips and raised her head, tears flashing in her eyes. Actually, you don't have to go to such trouble. The crew here is eating pretty well, so you don't have to worry. There's trouble somewhere. Mrs. Bai had a happy smile on her face. I'm making some soup for my daughter, why is it troublesome? As long as you like to drink it, I feel very happy and it's worth it. If you like it, I will make soup for you every day. Not bothersome at all. How good can the crew eat? It's not the first time I've been to a place like this. At most, it can only fill my stomach. Those meals are not nutritious. Drink the soup quickly. I have reserved a restaurant. We'll go out to eat later. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1328. Chapter 1328. You are now my mother's baby bump. Mrs. Bai has finally figured it out now. She will not force Chiao Mian to recognize her. Whether she recognized her as her mother or not, she recognized her as her daughter. For her, being able to find her daughter in her lifetime is considered a favor from God. She will do her best to make up for it in the future. In comparison, although Chiao Mian does not recognize her yet, his attitude towards her is not bad and he is willing to accept her kindness. It's better than blaming her and refusing to forgive her. After thinking about it like this, Mrs. Bai suddenly became enlightened. Under Mrs. Bai's loving and gentle gaze, Chiao Mian picked up the soup and drank it bit by bit. How is it, does it taste good? Mrs. Bai asked. Yeah, it tastes good. Chiao Mian drank the entire bowl of soup in a dignified manner. If you like to drink it, I will make it for you every day. Mrs. Bai's eyebrows were full of joy. Chiao Mian was startled, and wanted to say that there was no need to go to such trouble, but when she looked up and met Mrs. Bai's eyes full of joy and tenderness, she couldn't say the words that came to her lips. This is a very troublesome thing for her. But for Mrs. Bai, cooking for her daughter should be a very happy thing. If she refuses, she will be disappointed. Asterisk. During lunch, Mrs. Bai kept picking up vegetables for Chiao Mian. She kept saying that Chiao Mian was too thin and should eat more. They also asked Bai Yusheng not to stay up too late filming, and not to let Chiao Mian stay up late to film. Bai Yusheng couldn't help but complain, "Mom, you are too biased. I used to film until early in the morning. Why haven't you ever felt sorry for me and asked me not to film too late? I co-wrote this film. The son is not your biological son, is he?" With Chiao Mian, Mrs. Bai seems to have lost her son Bai Yusheng in her eyes. You are a man, why should I feel sorry for you? Mrs. Bai took her partiality to the extreme. After having a daughter, she felt all kinds of disgust when looking at her son. It's normal for a man to work hard and be tired. Man, do you have the nerve to shout about this? Mian is a girl, and girls are not cute. Girls are born to be loved and doted on. Mian is your sister, and you are actually jealous of your own sister. Bai Yusheng. Did you hear what I just said? Madame Bai glared at him and said, don't chew too late, as it will tire Mian. Bai Yusheng was helpless. Mom, Sometimes when we need to catch up on the progress, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't care if you keep up with the progress or not, Madam Bai said forcefully. Anyway, don't let me tire Mian. Bai Yusheng. When a woman becomes unreasonable and makes trouble, there really is no age difference. He sighed softly and looked at Jiao Mian aside. Mian, you are my mother's baby now. I no longer have my place in this family. Jiao Mian couldn't help laughing when she saw this scene. After finishing the meal, she felt much closer to Mrs. Bai and Bai Yusheng. There is some blood relationship after all. Just because you are not adaptable for a while does not mean that you will never adapt. The people beside her were her biological mother and her biological brother, and they were so kind to her. How could she not feel anything at all? Mrs. Bai also felt it. Jiao Mian was closer to her than before. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1329. Chapter 1329. There is no way to stop her. She felt that this trip was really in vain. Furthermore, she also strengthened her determination to stay in F City to take care of her daughter. There are some things that she has been absent from for more than 10 years, and she will not be absent any longer. Mom, can you go back? Mian and I are going back to the set soon, and we won't have time to accompany you then. You don't have many friends here. You will be bored staying here, so you should go back. Bai Yusheng is not at all worried about Mrs. Bai staying here. His mother is a spoiled child. She was pampered since she was a child, and she never touched the beauty of her husband when she married into the Bai family. There are a lot of servants waiting on her at home at all times. Come here, there is no place like home. But Mrs. Bai was determined to be a good mother. I won't go back, I want to stay and take care of Mian. I don't feel comfortable leaving Mian alone here. Bai Yusheng had a headache and said, why is Mian here alone? Isn't it me? Don't worry, I will take good care of her. You are a grown man. If you can't even take care of yourself, how can you take care of your sister? Stop talking. I have decided to stay. I have already found a place for you to live. You don't need to worry so much. Mom. Seeing that Mrs. Bai couldn't be persuaded by anything, Bai Yusheng could only ask Jiao Mian for help. Mian, please persuade Mom. I can't persuade her. I guess only your words will work now, and she will listen. Jiao Mian also felt uneasy with Mrs. Bai staying here. She thought for a while and said softly, Aunt Bai, Brother Bai and I basically stay on the set all day long. If you are here alone, we can't take care of you, and Brother Bai and I will worry about you. You'd better listen to Brother Bai and go back first. If my aunt misses me, she can call me or video chat with me. Don't worry, I will definitely take care of myself. After the filming is over, I will go see you with Brother Bai. But, I don't trust you. Madam Bai held Jiao Mian's hand, her eyes full of distress. I know filming is very tiring and hard, but I can still take care of you if I stay here. I'm not a child anymore. I can take care of myself. You are busy with your business, don't worry about me. I can only watch you on video when I go back. It's not as good as it is now. Don't you like your aunt staying here and think I'm causing trouble to you? Aunt, there is no. Jiao Mian didn't know what to do with Mrs. Bai. She looked at Bai Yusheng with pleading eyes. Bai Yusheng also looked helpless. Mom, we have to shoot here for several months. You can't stay here forever, right? Dad will be back in a while, and you want to leave him alone in Yunqing? Mrs. Bai was silent for a moment, frowned, and then said, then it's okay for me to stay here until your father comes back. right? Bai Yusheng. Never mind. He felt that there was nothing he could do against Mrs. Bai. His mother had just recognized her daughter, and she was extremely excited. She exuded maternal nature and always wanted to do something for her daughter. There was no way to stop her. At that time, we can only arrange a few more people around her. Asterisk. After lunch, go back to the set. After arriving at the set, Mrs. Bai separated from them. In the car, Bai Yusheng was afraid that Jiao Mian would think Mrs. Bai was too clingy, so he explained to her, Mian, if mom's behavior troubles you. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1330. Chapter 1330. He was definitely under pressure. Let me apologize to you on her behalf. I told her before not to come over, but she. When I finish work in the evening and go back, I will talk to her carefully and ask her to go back tomorrow. Brother Bai, if auntie wants to stay here, just let her stay here. Jiao Mian thought for a while and said, actually, I can understand Auntie Bai's mood. She didn't cause any trouble to me. I just don't trust her staying here alone. You really don't mind? Well, I don't mind. You and Aunt Bai are both so kind to me. You are also, my family. Why should I mind if you are nice to me? In fact, I am really touched and very happy. Brother Bai, thank you. Aunt Bai made me feel the warmth of home again. What are you talking about? Bai Yusheng was startled for a moment, then reached out to touch her head. Since you have said that we are your family, are you still so polite to your own family? You are my sister. I am not nice to you, right? Who is better? I was thinking before that it would be great if you were my sister, but I didn't expect that you have actually become my sister now. Bai Yusheng looked at her with gentle eyes and said in a soft voice, I am looking forward to one day, you can call me brother. Mian, I'm glad you can be my sister. Jiao Mian was touched and raised her head, brother Bai. There's no rush. Bai Yusheng smiled, reached out and patted her head gently, and said with fondness in his eyes, I'll continue to wait. I believe I won't wait too long. Asterisk. The shooting in the afternoon went as smoothly as ever. Even if there are NG shots, they can only go NG twice at most. And the shots without NG were actually shot very well, but Bai Yusheng wanted to pursue perfection and shoot better, so he asked NG to reshoot them. Qin Han and Jiao Mian are also working together better and better. The scenes shot in the afternoon can be said to be even better than those shot in the morning. Qin Han's prejudice against Jiao Mian has long since disappeared. After no longer looking at people with prejudice, he discovered that Jiao Mian was actually a very cute girl. She did not put on airs on the set because of her relationship with Bai Yusheng. She was very polite to her co-actors and crew members. Polite. What satisfies Qin Han the most is that Jiao Mian is a very smart student. For many things, he has to tell others 7 or 8 times before the other person can understand what he means. But with Jiao Mian, you only need to say it once. Meeting such a junior, Qin Han had the desire to support her. Because the male protagonist has been changed, the official blog has re-announced it. When netizens learned that Qin Han had actually accepted a TV series and starred opposite Jiao Mian, they were all excited. Some people feel that Qin Han's appearance in the new drama is very handsome. But more often than not, he attacked Jiao Mian and expressed extreme dissatisfaction with her. Previously, Tu Yuli acted as the male lead and acted with a newcomer Jiao Mian, which already made many people very dissatisfied. Now it's Qin Han, and Qin Han's fans want to beat Jiao Mian's head. Damn it, in order to praise Jiao Mian, we let Qin Han, a movie star, act in a TV series, or with a newcomer like this who is not even above the 18th line. What the hell? I feel that Qin Han definitely did not do it voluntarily. he was definitely forced to take this role under pressure. In order to praise that shameless newcomer, I approached to Yuli and wanted to make her angry. End of this chapter.